Battle print. Document emerges detailing Democrat plans to crush Trump should GOP fail to hold House. By Matthew Boyle for Breitbart.com. A document detailing what Democrats intend to do to try to take our President Donald Trump should they take the House majority in November of 2018 has emerged. Under the headline, Scoop, Republicans secretly study their coming hell. Axios' Jonathan Swan on Sunday evening revealed the existence of the document that lists exactly the line of attack the Democrats plan to pursue should they win control of the House in the midterm elections. The document specifically focuses on certain investigatory pathways and lines of inquiry they have already sought. The document prepared by House GOP officials walks through document and interview requests Democrats have already sent to the Trump administration, the president's business, the Trump Organization, and the president's campaign in 2016. Congressional Republicans are getting ready for hell. Axios has obtained a spreadsheet that's circulated through Republican circles on and off Capitol Hill, including at least one leadership office that meticulously previews the investigations Democrats will likely launch if they flip the House, Swan writes. Here is the list that they have. Swan then lists some of more than 100 items contained in the lengthy GOP document. Here is a direct quote of the bullet point list from Swan's piece in Axios. President Trump's tax returns, Trump family businesses, and whether they comply with the Constitution's emolument clause, including the Chinese trademark grant to the Trump Organization. Trump's dealings with Russia, including the president's preparation for his meeting with Vladimir Putin, the payment to Stephanie Clifford, a.k.a. Stormy Daniels, James Comey's firing, Trump's firing of U.S. attorneys, Trump's proposed transgender ban for the military, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin's business dealings, White House staff's personal email use, Cabinet Secretary travel, office expenses, and other misused perks, discussion of classified information at Mar-a-Lago, Jared Kushner's ethics law compliance, dismissal of members of the EPA Board of Scientific Counselors, the travel ban, family separation policy, hurricane response in Puerto Rico, election security and hacking attempts, White House security clearances. The spreadsheet, which I'm told originated in a senior House Republican office, catalogs more than 100 formal requests from House Democrats this Congress, spanning nearly every committee, Swan wrote. This document only begins to demonstrate exactly what the Democrats will do to Trump if they take control of the lower chamber of Congress in the midterm elections. Another good example of what they will do happened this past week when Trump's former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, was convicted in federal court as part of special counsel Robert Mueller's probe, and Trump's former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, pled guilty to a number of charges in a related case brought by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Expect hearings where the Democrats go off the rails with accusations against the president and his supporters and administration officials, and go all in to defend people they view as critical to undermining Trump. Case in point, look back at what happened during the congressional hearing where disgraced now former FBI agent Peter Strzok testified about his role in what has become known as Spygate. Yeah, and here it says, New Jersey Dem rips Gowdy, says GOP should kiss Strzok for whatever. While Republicans are clearly preparing for this at this point, it is not set in stone yet that the Democrats will take the House majority in November. To get there, Democrats, though, do not need what has proverbially become known as a blue wave. They don't need it. They do not need what has proverbially become known. Typically, wave elections are swings of much more than 23 seats. Democrats need to take the House majority. The GOP currently clings to a 23-seat majority, which makes the magic number. That the Democrats need to take control 23. But if the Democrats do take control, Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi is slated to become Speaker, assuming she can put down a brewing internal Democratic conference rebellion against her. And Representative Maxine Waters, a leading voice for impeachment of the president, is slated to become House Financial Services Committee Chairman. What a joke. She was caught with all these, paying her daughter off, and she's going to become the House Financial Services Committee Chairwoman. While fellow leftists, I can't stand Elijah Cummings and Jerry Nadler, are slated to chair the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform and Judiciary Committee, respectively. Representative Adam Schiff, a leftist who has spent hours upon hours on television bashing Trump, would get the gavel of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. That would spell doom and disaster for Republicans, and particularly for President Trump. Listen, I got news for you. If they would take control of Congress, I got news for you. America's finished. America's done. America is done if they take control. Look at these imbeciles. If we take a listen over here a little bit, you see this imbecile Watson Coleman? Look at this. Look at the imbecile. They're like mentally challenged. That's what they seem like. All of them. All the Democrats.
That I was looking at this with an open mind and saying, I don't know what there is.
Agent Strzok, of all the universe of options, that's not the one I picked. But of all the universe of options, you looking at something with an open mind is not the one I picked.
But that's the obvious one to conclude from that email.
I'll tell you the one that I picked. The one I picked, and it breaks my heart to say this about an agent for an agency that I have tremendous respect for. You as a counterintelligence officer had no interest in participating in a counterintelligence investigation that was not going to lead to impeachment.
No,
that's how I read it.
Mr.
If
Chairman,
I thought it was likely,
you are assuming
I
someone else's
hesitate in
position.
part.
Chairman, you're coming to conclusions on someone else's viewpoints in the hearing. Allow the witness to
I'm pretty
respond.
sure it's my time and the gentlelady's not recognized.
Oh, she's
I
a horror,
hesitate in
this
part
one.
Because of my gut sense and concern, there's no big there.
For example, do you notice like the difference? Look, I'm not a fan of Gowdy. I don't trust him, because he talks out of the two sides of his mouth. But if you take a look at Gowdy, he looks normal. Take a look at Strzok and take a look at Jackson Lee, what comes out of their mouths. And like they're totally deranged. You see, there's something wrong with the Democrats. Something is wrong. Something is off mentally.
Sir, may I
What
respond?
were you concerned wasn't there?
Sir, my concern was not knowing, given these allegations, what existed. Whether on the one hand, there was no criminal activity whatsoever, towards the middle, that there are individuals kind of pursuing their own agendas for their own self-enrichment, or on the far end, that there might be an impeachable offense.
Let's go
Why
here.
don't you leave it alone? This is not Benghazi.
The
You
general
see, wait, that's where I want to go to. Wait, sorry.
That was all to be determined. And that is a logical way for investigators, attorneys, and
Starting
to approach
with the
investigation.
political death penalty and impeachment is not the logical way a neutral, dispassionate...
Point of order.
Chairman, we're demanding equal
You're not
for every member of the
testifying
Mr.
person here, Mr.
Chairman,
Chairman.
Mr.
And
Chairman.
if you can't control yourself, how do you expect this committee to control itself? You've been out of control since you've been on this committee. Why don't you leave it alone? This is not Benghazi.
The gentlelady from New Jersey is recognized.
You're recognized, Congresswoman. You're recognized.
When she finishes.
Well, hallelujah. First of all, Mr.
She didn't even realize that they were saying the from New Jersey is recognized. It took her like she's out. Like, do you see what I'm saying? They had to tell her again, you're recognized, for her to answer.
I want to thank you for your service. Secondly, Mr. Strozak, I think you made a big mistake by putting those text messages on your business phone, because then you opened up your personal phone, and here we are talking about this mess when it really isn't important. Because the other thing that I know, Mr. Strozak, is that even if you do have biases, you did not influence the outcome of this investigation. The IG found that the outcome.
She's putting words in his mouth. You did not influence the What? Did you see? Did you hear what she said? Like, she's putting words in his mouth.
Did not influence the outcome of this investigation. The IG found that the outcome of this investigation was predicated upon evidence and information.
What
evidence?
The other
thing I know is that no matter how much you dislike...
What evidence and information? Everything was predicated on evidence and information, she said. What evidence and what information? Do you see what I'm saying? There's something absolutely wrong with these people. These people are a detriment to this country.
That the outcome of this investigation was predicated upon evidence and information. The other thing I know is that no matter how much you disliked Hillary and or Donald Trump.
Disliked Hillary? And he loved Hillary. What are you talking about?
You didn't have anything to do with either one of them getting elected. You have nothing to do with the President of the United States disgracing this country every single solitary day.
So her mind is made up. Trump just disgracing this country. What does this have to do with what they're asking Strzok on?
When he embraces our enemies and sucks up, embraces our enemies and is disrespectful to our allies. You have nothing to do with the fact that the President of the United States...
Even Strzok's face is looking in amazement as to what's coming out of her mouth, right? Look at Strzok's face.
...has declared higher tariffs in the name of security to this nation against our closest friend and neighbor, Canada, but no one on this side of the aisle has opened their mouth. You have had nothing to do with the president enriching himself with his emoluments and carving out opportunities for his daughter so that she's not negatively impacted with her brands in China, while this side of the aisle says nothing. You've had nothing to do with the fact that Puerto Rico is still underwater and without any kind of electricity in so many places, while this side of the aisle, that's a part of the Oversight Committee, has forgotten what its mission is.
She's deranged.
But nonetheless, you have been here, and you have tried to answer their questions. And I have... Even
Gowdy now is doing something, I guess, on his phone. The other guy is holding his head because she's all over the place now. She's just spewing whatever. It's like, you know, you can't make this stuff up. What can you say about this? What can you say?
Never seen my colleagues so out of control, so angry, and so desperate to protect a president that we all know is not fit to be president.
Says who?
So I want to leave you this opportunity.
Gowdy's laughing. Gowdy's laughing. Strzok is saying, where is she going with all of this? What does this have to do with what we're talking about? Even Strzok is looking at her like she's off her rocker. Even Gowdy is laughing. And they're allowing her to speak so long.
So look. I want to leave you this opportunity. Is there any question on the table, Mr. Strozak?
This is why there should be term limits. The lady is off her rocker. She's too old to put what's supposed to be said over here She's off on all tangents.
That you've been asked that you'd like to clarify, because I can give you 2 minutes and 25 seconds to have your
Even Strzok
say
is laughing.
uninterrupted.
Do you understand? Do you understand? Even Strzok is laughing at this. I'll give you 2 minutes and 25 seconds, and Strzok is saying, like, where should I start from all the points that you've been talking about?
I deeply appreciate that time. I do want, everybody's watching this and making up their own mind. And what I would tell you is, one, I'm sitting here telling you the truth. And two, independent of me, I cannot express to you my love of the FBI enough. The men and women who make up that workforce, their ethics, their integrity are unmatched anywhere in the world.
What does this have to do with what, you know, and Strzok didn't even know where to start, you know. Let's hear over here.
I just need to say in closing, if anybody should be pissed at the FBI because you all helped this unfit man become president of the United States.
The FBI helped Trump become president. Did you hear what she just said? Do you understand what she just said?
Pissed at the FBI because you all helped this unfit man become president of the United States by not revealing to the people that he was under investigation in his campaign. It should be me.
Look at Strzok's face.
Applauding you, kissing you, and giving you all awards. Because but for you, we would have had a legitimate president elected.
Oh, who, Hillary?
I give back my time.
Oh, Hillary.
General from New York is recognized for unanimous consent.
Mr. Chairman, as you are aware, under House rules, minority members have the right to demand a day of hearings to allow witnesses to testify on the subject of today's hearing. As you also know, during the course of today's hearing, the majority opposed Representative Swalwell's motion to subpoena Steve Bannon for testimony. On behalf of the minority members of both the Judiciary and Government Reform Committees,
you know,
I am delivering
you can't make this stuff up. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what a circus this is? Do you see what a circus this is? I mean, you can't describe the Democrats other than it's a circus. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.